And Jameela joins us now. Good morning.
Hi.
I took James and Milo yesterday to go to the screening of this movie. They laughed. I cried.
Aww.
Like, you can do this. But it was such an amazing room to be in with a whole bunch of kids just being kids and loving every minute of it. You must be so excited to be in something like this.
I am, and it's so wholesome. But I think what I love about Pixar is the fact that it is for the kids.
Yeah.
But we've snuck in important messages for the adults. And so really it's for the whole world to be able to enjoy. And I love any show. I think, you know, The Good Place, which is the show that I did when I went over to America, with Ted Danson. But that show, again, had this ability to plant subliminal messages for everyone of every age. And I think Elio does such an important job of that. And the messages throughout this film are so important and so universal and so timely.
Tell us a little bit about it, because there'll be people who have seen that and gone, "No, it looks super cute." Who is Elio? What's gone on?
Elio is a little boy who doesn't feel very welcome on Earth. He hasn't found his people yet, and so he's desperate to get into space and one day gets abducted, which would be terrifying for most kids, but not for him, because all he wants is to get off the planet. And once he's there, he has to try and convince everyone he's the leader of Earth. And it's all his trials and tribulations to prove himself. And I think the film ultimately is about loneliness, which I think is something that, for all the things we could admit to, anxiety, depression, I still think there's a sort of contagion element to loneliness, where we're worried if we tell someone we're lonely, we might become even more lonely because people will think we're some sort of a pariah. And so it breaks the stigma of admitting to the fact that you're not always around the people that are right for you. And I really relate to that, because I didn't really have proper mates until I was 19. And then when I met those, and I spent my whole teenage years thinking, I'm never going to find any friends. And school and home just feels like your whole universe. And so it's such an important reminder to kids that, I mean, you don't have to be abducted by aliens, but that you need to maybe get away from where you are when you're older, and you will find your people.
Where did you find your people in the end, then, Jameela?
On the Yellow Pages.
Was it?
No. I met them in... I was a MySpace photographer among my many jobs before I became...
A MySpace
I know, it really
photographer?
ages me, doesn't it?
Goodness me.
Yeah, and so they were a band and I was their photographer.
Brilliant.
And then we became best friends, and then they've been living with me in Los Angeles in a flat share.
I love
still
that
with
a
me.
decade.
Strays.
Yeah, so I've never let them go. They're never getting rid of me.
Tell me a bit about Ambassador Qua, because she's kind of like... She's all knowledgeable. She's kind of a bit slinky. She's foxy, but she's clever and she's smart, and she develops this real relationship with the little boy, doesn't she?
I know, she does. She's sort of gently nudging and cheering him along, but she leads with such dignity and strength, and so I knew I couldn't pull that from myself. So I had to steal Julie Andrews' entire personality.
Is that what you did?
That's what I did. I channeled Julie Andrews, because she's got dignity, integrity, grace, leadership quality.
She's practically
Do you know what I mean?
perfect
Exactly.
in every way.
Not me. So I channeled her. I basically ripped off Julie Andrews and had such a fabulous time playing such a complex role. And I like the fact that she's a bit cheeky, and I love the fact that she's really nosy. And I would love to be able to touch your face and then read all of your thoughts. I think that's the thing that I would most like to be able to do. And so I just loved her, and I loved their relationship. And I think it definitely is something that I resonate with, which is wanting to boost others along, encourage other people to fulfil their potential.
What's so lovely is watching the film and sort of really enjoying it from a parent's perspective. I can see exactly why the kids are going to love it, because you can enjoy it as well. But then equally sitting there being very proud of how far you've come as well, and this journey that you're on, Jameela, which is just seemingly just flying, getting higher and higher. You know, from that moment you were spotted in the pub as an English teacher, obviously, a pub being the English teacher's happy place, most teachers' happy place. And I think you've been really sort of open about the fact that you've been very lucky along the way. You've got to have talent, but you've been given opportunities that you've been able to take advantage of.
Yeah, I didn't sleep with anyone. I would have slept my way down the industry, if anything. I just got very lucky. I was in the right place at the right time, and I think I've also never been deterred by the fact that I am completely underqualified and underprepared for everything. I've always thought that makes it funnier. And I refer to myself sometimes as a failure pervert, because I'm just obsessed with how wrong it could go, because it makes for so much of a funnier story for your friends. No one likes a story of success. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
In like a 60-second TikTok,
not
we
straight
can tolerate
away.
it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we
yeah.
like failure.
We like
so
it going wrong.
I run towards it because that's where the adventure, that's where the good juice is, you know, of life. And so everything I've done, I thought was going to be a colossal disaster. And really only 50% of it was.
That's not a bad success rate then.
But you
or failure
also,
rate,
though,
however you look at it.
Yeah.
You also, though, have to be quite brave to do that. So, like, when you're doing A Good Place and Ted's there...
I know, and he's so handsome.
He's so... And 3 Men and a Little Baby.
I know,
and, like,
such an icon.
Wait, was it not terrifying?
It was completely terrifying. It was completely terrifying because, you know, everyone talks about imposter syndrome. What do you do when you're actually an imposter, when you've actually never acted, and now you're on a TV show and you're thinking, what is everyone in England going to think of this? Like, this is the biggest... Every step of my career, I think, right, this is the biggest blag I've ever pulled off. Like, when I was made history on, like, Radio 1, I was like, this is it. And I'm like, what's happening next? Is it Prime Minister?
What? Why not?
Could it be?
Well,
Why not? We'd wear the
Can't get
T-shirts.
much worse. So I have no idea what's planned. But I don't know if it's bravery as much as it is madness, because I don't really take anything very seriously, least of all myself. And so I treat all of this like it's a wedding that I've crashed, and I should just snog who I can and steal some cake, and then
get out caught.
before I'm chucked out, which is inevitable.
I was talking about that the other day, the idea that not being scared to fail is such a powerful thing. Failure can scare all of us and can stop you doing things, but it seems like somehow you've tapped into the ability to say, whatever happens, I'm just going to go for it. And if it falls apart, that's not the end of the world. I'll pick myself up and I'll try something else.
I just don't think of life as a test, you know? And again, my favourite stories come from disaster. That's why I've started a whole podcast based on disaster. Because, again, I hate smug, perfect people. I hate them. I hate you. Wherever you are.
There is one person. He's not smug, but he's definitely perfect in my eyes, that you think the world of, which is our Will Best, our lovely Will.
Oh, my God, hi!
He happens to be coming in.
Surprise!
This is my son. I birthed him.
Yeah.
Explain why
My canal.
I mean, we know what's special about Will. Can you explain why you think Will's so special?
I know, exactly. Well, that's how I know it's you, the snorting. Were you asking Jameela to say what's so special about me?
Why does she? Because you've come out as that Will is like could be future Prime Minister, should be.
I've always loved Rick Edwards. I just think he's so great. I think Will is, in my opinion...
Great.
No. And I think everyone's the best, but I think you're the most talented broadcaster in the country. And that's a crazy thing to say.
And that's sitting on the same sofa as these two.
Broadcasters, but maybe the next generation.
Wow.
Because you guys work together.
And I said that to you privately, and he's like tried to bat it off every time.
How old were you, Jameela, when you worked with Will? How long ago was this?
I was 23, 24.
Yeah.
How old are you?
42 back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now in his early 80s.
Yeah. Plugging away.
But the only person who's ever made me cry with laughter on telly, like, we had to be separated because we were a complete loose cannon on telly.
I was just listening to what you were saying there about kind of embracing the potential for chaos.
Yeah.
That can be a recipe for disaster, as we
That
proved
was
on many occasions back in the day.
I used to fall off the stool laughing because he was so inappropriate.
I can't remember anything that I said that was that. It's been downhill from there for me. But up, onwards and upwards for you. It's amazing.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Yeah, just about.
Now, everyone's going to think we're sleeping together.
I know, we're sitting very close. That was me. I need to back away.
We're spooning.
This is the first time you've done this morning as well, Jameela, and you're already spooning with one of our hosts.
You're very comfortable.
I know.
That's true.
I had a little nap.
How do we look on here?
Didn't I?
Yeah.
Jet lagged.
Watch
How
out,
are
you two. Yeah, good. I'm good, mate. We should probably have that kind of catch-up chat.
Yeah. Sorry. Back to the show. Back to the show.
Yeah.
But I love you.
Oh, mate, well, it's great to see you.
I'm happy that everything's going
They said I was going
well.
to come and surprise you, and I thought this is going to be the most underwhelming surprise anyone has ever had.
No, it's really made me happy. It's like really
Oh, it's great to see you, mate. And congrats on the film.
Yeah,
Oh,
the film makes us happy, Jameela.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming in and talking a little bit about it.
Brilliant.
It's fabulous.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
And you can catch Elio in cinemas.
Oh, hello.
Friday.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.